Hey, fellow Star Wars fans, I'm Mike, and you're watching Force Within TV, and today we have OfficialBossk with us. Say hi, OfficialBossk.
Hey, everyone.
Awesome, and today together we are going to be talking about the top 5 fights in Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels. We got awesome sort of hand-to-hand combat, lightsaber fights, all of that thrown in here. And the first one is going to be Sabine and Governor Pryce in the Antilles extraction. I thought this was awesome, seeing two strong females go at it in this episode. Sabine definitely getting the edge on things here over Governor Pryce. What did you think, OfficialBossk?
I think it was a really awesome fight because, you see like this woman power can actually, someone who can fight against the ally or like the enemy, as you would say that. And, this really brought up like how skillful Sabine is in fighting, how she actually got her Mandalorian instincts as well. And, she really hated Governor Pryce. And what I really liked as well in this episode, how we see Wedge in the prison cell and he's just like, we need to help Sabine. And then Sabine just opens up the door and then boom, she's fine.
Yeah, I love that moment too. It's sort of that same moment we've seen with Rey and Finn in The Force Awakens, as well as Cassian and Jyn. Definitely something we're seeing in Star Wars, those strong female leads. And it does sort of foreshadow Sabine and the power that she's going to have later, sort of building her up for those episodes later in the season. So really like that one. I also like how in the book, the Thrawn novel, Governor Pryce is actually, it's explained how she had a good friend that was actually trained security personnel. And so it sort of told us why she would be able to fight, because she's really just a politician, right? So it doesn't make sense that she'd be able to go toe-to-toe with Sabine, but she does, and we have some backstory on that, which I always love. But moving on to number 2 here, we have Thrawn and Kallus in 0 Hour, and I particularly love this one where Thrawn is sort of, it's just, they're just throwing fisticuffs, but Thrawn is saying Kallus his weakness is that he's been trained by the Imperials and he doesn't have much technique, and Kallus just sort of says, "You talk too much," right? I just thought that was such an awesome fight.
Oh yeah, for sure, because Agent Kallus for me now is probably one of my second favorite characters in Star Wars Rebels after when he joined the Rebellion at the end of Season 3. And it does make kind of sense as well how, we see two of the greatest allies in the same room, because Thrawn knows that he was like Fulcrum from the start, because he's one step ahead and he knows Agent Kallus's tactics because he studies his enemies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it was awesome to see them fight it out because, yes, they were allies, right? And now they are enemies, so very cool. Moving on to number 3 here, we have Sabine and Garr Saxon in Legacy of Mandalore. Now, I forget exactly who commented on one of my videos regarding Sabine, but they actually showed me that if you go back and you look at Trials of a Darksaber and some of the different moves that Ezra is teaching Sabine, that she actually ends up using one of those moves to defeat Garr Saxon. And I just thought that was so awesome to see how those two, the training and then the actual fight came together. So very good. Thank you so much, whoever that was. I'm sorry I'm forgetting your name, but OfficialBossk, what do you think about that fight?
I think it was a really awesome fight. The way that it referenced Anakin when he, he did took his head, of course, in episode 3, and it just shows like 2 lightsabers near his head, and it was just really awesome seeing that moment and that reference from episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And what I really liked also about this episode, how T.S. Garr did reference Sabine to, she does it like learning from everyone.
Right, yeah.
But basically she learns from Ezra. She takes Ezra's knowledge on what Ezra has learned from Kanan and brings that to Mandalore, or Sabine's home world, and basically Rick Gar Saxon.
Yeah, it sure did. Yeah, and the great reference to the prequels there too, and Anakin, yeah, and Dooku, that fight. So awesome. Moving on to number 4, we have Azra and Kanan. This is in Visions and Voices, where Kanan is possessed by the Night Sisters, and he is forced to fight Ezra. Very cool seeing the Master and Padawan fighting, even if Kanan is possessed. What did you think about this one, Official Boss?
I think it was really cool because you kind of feel sorry for Ezra because he has to actually fight his master who is possessed, and he doesn't really want to kill his master. He wants to try and get the possessed devil out of Kanan, and we do see that with Sabine. Ezra managed to, save Sabine by, letting her get out in the light, and then the Night Sisters' magic just went away from that because they're scared of the light, and they don't really...
Yeah, they have some sort of bad reaction with the light, right? I thought that was pretty awesome, very suspenseful, right? Like, you're just quite the twist. Didn't really expect that to happen, so I thought it was very good. Moving on to number 5 now, we have Maul and Obi-Wan, twin sons. You either love this fight or you hate it. An amazing, in my opinion, lightsaber duel. It really shows the difference between Obi-Wan and Maul. Obi-Wan has progressed so much. He's been sitting, in the desert there in Tatooine, meditating. He's made peace with his past, whereas Maul has not really progressed. He's full of hatred, and not to mention he's been walking around trying to find Obi-Wan and probably physically defeated. So I thought it was very fitting that this was a short fight. What do you think about that, Official Boss?
I really loved it because it shows these two greatest enemies who have fought each other over the years finally come peace with one another, and they forgive each other for what he has done over the past. Darth Maul, how Obi-Wan, has lived on Tatooine for a while now. He's been, looking over his regrets over the life of his Jedi past. And, when Darth Maul does finally reach Obi-Wan and when Darth Maul does die, the two enemies forgive each other. And that's what I really liked about this episode, how the message was just to, let go of your anger and hatred for that person and just say sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that is what gives Obi-Wan's so much power, right? As he has made peace with his past. He has let go of his anger and he's able to defeat Maul very quickly. We also see Maul in this fight going back to that move that he used on Qui-Gon to try and defeat Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan obviously prepared for that move. Again, the contrast between Obi-Wan being much more mature in this fight versus the Phantom Menace, and Maul really not progressing. So absolutely awesome. Is there, that was our top 5, guys. Is there another one, Official Boss, that you think that I've left out from my list here in the top 5?
I would probably say the Kanan and versus Sabine in Trials of Darksaber. Now that, fight was emotional, it was powerful, and Sabine was just letting out everything that she built up over the years when she left the Imperial Academy, and she just let out to Kanan once they were fighting because Kanan was trying to let her anger out in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is, such an important moment for Sabine. She lets out, she lets out her frustration and really faces her fears. She doesn't want to go back and face her family after creating that super weapon. Really cool, awesome to see, and I'm glad you pointed that one out. Definitely one that should have been in the top 5.
Maybe as well we could see that weapon being used in season 4 for Rebels. Yeah,
that would be really cool too. Hopefully we will see that in action. I think I might have heard rumors that we will, but don't want to spoil anything for folks out there. But thank you so much, Official Boss, for joining us. Where should the good people go to check out your information and whatnot?
Well, just leave the link down below in the description or comment section. I normally do Star Wars Rebels content, everything Star Wars here on Official Boss. You can also follow me on Twitter at OfficialBossk if you want to, if you do have a Twitter account, and just check out some of my content. Me and Mike normally do the same content and also do a collaboration and one in a while, so
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, for sure, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. And may the Force be with you, folks, always.